Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. You're joining us on the YouTube stream or in your ears, whichever one you're doing. If you are on the YouTube stream, hello, wave, everyone, wave. That's why they're here.
Hi, Handies.
Hi, Handies.
Yeah,
You're all here. Thanks very much for joining us.
Do your handy wave.
The big old handy wave. Just remember, it's like a good old-fashioned. So we are going to be looking today at cliffhanger moments from media, video games, TV, films, whatever. Cliffhangers and hell yeah, I think is what the social media say. But fuck yeah moments that we think are brilliant from, as I said, media like video games, films, TV, that sort of stuff. We'll do the introductions very quickly. Russ, hello.
Sup? How we doing?
Sup-a-doodle-doo. Duncan, what's up?
Yo. Hi, everyone. Hi, Handies.
Hi, Handies. And Dan, what up?
Hey man, I have a quick question for all of the Too Much Time on My Hands group. Are you mad for it?
Yes, and I really want to roll with it.
To roll with it.
I'm waiting to see how mad for it. How mad for it I'm going to be really much depends on the prices that are being asked. For
£150 apparently.
Yeah, but then
So-
you're going to have to add all that Ticketmaster bullshit to it as well, aren't you? So you're probably looking at not getting away with anything less
150
than
per
200.
ticket.
Yeah.
So Dan's mad for it.
I'm
How
mad
am
for
I
it.
gonna?
I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Russ is taking his time. Duncan, are you gonna say what you say and not let anyone get in your way?
Definitely, maybe.
Yeah!
Very good.
but-
Ding, ding.
Oasis comments. Well done, everyone.
But-
Good.
I'm gonna wait until get up on Saturday. Just go. Oh, good morning, morning glory, and see where it takes me.
That was a stretch. You did so fucking well. And then that was a bit of a
I'm gonna
reach right at the
fucking
end.
stretch you.
I'm not gonna acquiesce to that.
That's very good. Anyway, let's not let any of these comments cast any shadows
I mean.
over the rest of the
Wonderwall.
proceedings. Yeah, it was at Wonderwall.
Champagne supernova.
Yeah, so because we're creeping little by little towards the obvious subject of today's podcast. As I said, we're going to be looking at cliffhangers and fuck yeah moments from video games, films, TV, all that kind of stuff, all the way through. And Dan and I held hands and skipped into a cinema to watch Alien Romulus. So we might, if we've got a little bit of time towards the end, give you a quick 4-minute review of, well, spoiler-free review of Romulus.
It's called Romulus, but we definitely reamed the shit out of each other.
Yes, my Romulus has never quite felt the same since Thursday.
Was it a rom-com? No, it's not.
There is
It-
definitely some comedy. There's
definitely
some jokes in there.
Yeah, there's some, yeah,
Some bad jokes in there.
there's some
but
bad
there's
jokes.
some
There's some tension. There's some, some friends become enemies. Some enemies become friends. There's a
kinda
beginning,
true.
middle, and an end,
Yeah.
and then another end, and another one. Yeah. Anyway, right. Should we crack on with some fuck yeah and super doodle moments?
Super Doodle.
Doodle, I love that.
What do we think? Should we go?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go first? Shall I do a random light, shine your light, do a sort of dartboard thing? I'll shut my eyes.
Go on then. I don't know who you're pointing at.
It's Russ.
All right, Russ.
Okay.
Kick us off.
So going with like cliffhanger ending type things, one of my favourites has always been the end of Silence of the Lambs, which isn't necessarily a cliffhanger as such. You just don't know what's going to happen and what he's going to do, and it ends with that brilliant phone call with it's the guy that runs the prison that he was in, wasn't it? Chilton.
Yeah. Having a friend for dinner.
Having an old friend for
perfectly
dinner.
innocent.
Yeah. And it's just sort of the look on her face thinking about like what is going to happen next. Now unfortunately he wrote another book in which some really disappointing stuff happens next, but we can forget all about that and just leave it as this unresolved, what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the only film that I would say that ended on a really good cliffhanger that was then ruined by later sequels.
Are you
It's
talking
not
about
the
Sex
only
and the
one.
City?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree with that. That's really good, especially because it follows.
I don't know if it
Obviously-
technically counts as a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's definitely a cliffhanger because like that film so could have easily ended up with, Buffalo Bill's dead and It's all happy, and there's no one trying to skin people and make skin suits and stuff like that anymore. And Clarissa Starling, is that no
The
Clarice
meeting at the
Starling?
FBI. Congrats, everyone! No one's
Well,
trying to skin
really-
anyone or make skin suits
really wrap
anymore. We
this one
did
up.
it, guys.
Wrap this up tight as a mummy.
How I wish it had ended would be that he actually went to Vegas and played the roulette wheel with Steve Buscemi's character from Con Air.
Does the shooter feel lucky? Yes, it
Yes, he
does.
does. I'm gonna go murder a school's worth of children.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Which he definitely did.
yeah.
Like there was no redemption arc for him at all. He was a serial killer who escaped.
Yes.
he
Well, the
talks
Peter
about
Pan
wearing a
serial
kid's
killer.
head as a
He
hat.
did not. He did not kill that girl though. He left her alone.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
only because like
okay
she
then.
wasn't his type or something. Like having a 2-minute conversation with a child in an empty swimming pool is not going to rehabilitate him.
He's got the whole world in his
So
hand.
creepy.
It's fucking weird that. He does play it very creepy.
He does.
He
That
plays it
man's a
perfectly.
font of misplaced rage. Levity for that man hurts. Oh, so good. So good. And it makes me miss Con Air.
I mean, you're
So
out
sad.
to watch it.
Always
Miss it.
just watch it.
We were going to do a commentary track for Con Air, weren't we?
I still think we
should
should
do.
do that.
Yeah, I think so as well. Maybe
We'd all
we
have to
should.
be in the same room though.
No, I don't think we should. I think we could do it like.
Con Air is. Are we all agreed that Con Air is superior to The Rock?
Yeah,
Yes.
Like not by a lot, but it is.
it is. Yeah.
I don't know. The Con Air has
Stanley Gorspeed.
Yeah.
But like Con Air has so many good lines in it. Well, hooray for the sounds of fucking silence. You know?
There's a situation that needs to get unfucked pretty rapidly here.
Yes, that is a great one. That is a great one.
You got John Cusack in it. You got Chief O'Brien growling at everybody and threatening to blow up the plane every 5 minutes.
You've got the world's worst U.S. Marshal on a plane full of criminals.
You've got the world's worst sandal-wearing U.S. Marshal.
Yes.
Oh no, sorry, he wasn't. No, that's Vince Larkin, isn't it? Yeah, you got the world's worst. No, he's a DEA agent.
Oh,
isn't
that's
he?
right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a DEA agent. You're in a situation that you can't control. I can't remember what he says, but he just shakes his head as he dies. Like, how harsh is that? Come on, man, you're a ranger. You don't just shake your head at people when they're dying.
But do you not understand? This situation's gone pear-shaped and innocent people are dying. But he really needs to get his bunny to his child.
Yeah.
And at the very least,
I
that bunny
crashed
needs to
this
get-
plane so I could give you this rotten bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Okay,
don't
so
talk about
take it from your father.
at a minimum hundreds of people that were killed by them landing a fairly large aircraft on the Vegas Strip on a busy evening.
We just don't.
It's really
talk about
overlooked.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah, completely different film. Silence
Yes,
of the Lambs.
also very aware. Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, really, really great. I love that ending. It's so good because it's such a creepy and unsettling film from the start that to end in a not
As it
creepy or
it
unsettling
puts
way
you
would
back
be-
to being creeped out and unsettled.
It's like
and-
fucking hell, that cannibal is out there again. Like
And
he
in
could. He could
suspense.
I hope I'm not the old friend he's going to have for dinner. I don't like the idea of my liver being eaten with some fava beans and a fine Chianti. No matter how delicious my fatty liver might be. But yeah, no, good choice. I'm a big fan of that film.
I like it too.
Following on from something that goes very disappointing after a very good cliffhanger, the end of the first season of Lost, because Lost started out pretty good,
Mm.
and that cliffhanger at the end where they find the door, that's just really
Oh,
cool.
the door to
It's
the
like-
hatch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hatch, and you go what? Because then you don't know what's going to happen next. And then I
feel
suppose
like
the first
Lost
episode.
really suffered from when it came out, like because it was just at the sort of beginning of there being like massive online communities around this stuff. So I
Yeah.
really feel like they had this great idea for a show, but then after like the first episode, somebody had posted online what they were planning the ending to be, and then they panicked and were like, well, fuck, we can't do that then, can we? And then they spent like 4 seasons floundering around for something else before eventually just going, nah, sod it, we'll stick with what we said to start with.
Yeah, I mean, I never really finished watching it because it just got boring. But the first season was very good.
I think I'd have preferred the idea of like it was like a social experiment. That like
Yeah.
they were constantly being studied. That kind
Which
of
was
thing
sort
would-
of touched on with all the Dharma
Yeah.
Initiative stuff, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. I think that would have been better. Like, what happens when you crash a plane and you've got all these people? Like, the very first fucking scene of Lost is awesome. Like, or the first bit where they're literally in the plane crash. It's really, really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Someone's,
when
done,
I was first
someone's
saying
done like an edit of the whole thing, where the whole thing is in chronological order. So
Yeah.
it starts off with hours and hours of flashbacks,
Oh, fuck
building
that.
up. But apparently, it works really well because then the actual stuff on the island is kind of over quite quickly. And it sort of because it did get a bit like, oh fucking hell, whose backstory we're gonna have to see this week.
Matthew Fox was who I had for Commander Shepard for the longest time as well.
Yeah,
I mean, he
quite
would have
good.
Mm.
been quite good.
But he wouldn't have looked good in that that orange ginger wig, would he though? Because the joke was he was playing the female Commander Shepard, which everyone knows is a superior Commander Shepard. But yeah, he
Fem Shep all the way.
Fem Shep all the way, 100%. But like he looked like the male Shep, I thought.
I mean, I'm not
But-
knocking male Shep at all.
it's
But
not good,
Fem
though.
Shep is Jennifer Hale, and I just love her work. Like, she's so good.
If you like Jennifer Hale, she's does the voice of Jean Grey in the latest X-Men series, X-Men '97.
Yeah, does she?
Yeah. Do you want me to do a segue?
Well, yes. What have we? Yes.
I've got a series
Let's
I want to
segue
talk
in.
about.
Yeah.
It's X-Men '97. I'm not going to give it away. I'm just going
But
to say
every bloody episode.
every episode fucking kills you. It is so good.
It leaves you with a cliffhanger every bloody time.
You know what I'm going to say though, Duncan. The name's Gambit. Remember it. That's all I'll say.
Do you know, it's been a recurring thing on this podcast where, Dan, you get a little overexcited about X-Men 97, Gambit, and then there's like some happy trouser noises. And yes, it's all. I like the sort of sinister smile and full on eye contact. Yeah,
Got to maintain eye contact.
like in the
Must
Key and
maintain
Peele. So, like the whack off standoff.
The other guy is
Yeah.
Beard from
Yeah,
Ted Lasso.
yeah.
The other guy he's whacking off with is Beard from Ted Lasso.
I just love the fact they make eye contact and then
incredible.
they slowly get into rhythm.
Yeah. And then they're kind of like
Yeah.
leaning forward every now and then. So good. Oh god, it'd been at least 10
He's
minutes
over there.
since we mentioned the Key and Peele sketch. So
Yeah. I mean, anyone playing TMTOH bingo this week, I mean, their cards got to be full now, right? We've talking about Con Air, whacking off Key and Peele.
Mass Effect.
Whacking
Gambit.
off is is that really that much of a
Oh, it's a
regular
recurring. It's a recurring theme.
are we a bit seamany, Tom?
A bit seemingly. Yeah, maybe.
Do you remember when we started? We desperately tried to avoid that.
We try to avoid all the cliches.
how long did that last in
of
minutes?
four dudes talking about stuff. Like, we just just you got to go with what you know.
What whacking off?
Yeah, I mean, all of us, like, you know, men of a certain age, we basically have PhDs in whacking off. Like,
10,000 hours worth of it.
I've got my flight log is jam packed.
I was just picturing you walking into like a packed seminar hall with like keen young students,
My TED talk.
which is mainly
Doing it
10 minutes
wrong.
of eye contact with the camera.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong, but now I've got all your attention. Let's talk about how you're doing it right.
And you got one of those headset mics on, so all you can really hear is the heavy breathing.
Well, that's horrific.
Yeah.
But yes, it reeks of semen. Okay, well,
Yeah.
good point. But yeah. Moving on.
Moving on. I want to come out strong with my first one
Okay.
with a fuck yeah moment.
Yeah.
I already put it in the WhatsApp chat, so you guys know what's coming. But it's the bit in Serenity, the film, like the film which was written after the series Firefly, after it was cancelled. They got their film deal, which I think was such a great idea to cap it all off. There's that scene at the end after the Firefly crew have been on Miranda, and they come barreling out through the nebula towards the Alliance fleet that's been waiting to ambush them, and the operative rather smugly is like, "Bastard isn't even changing course. We should have done this as men," or something like that. I don't know who he's talking to. Maybe someone behind him or just to himself. But then, as the Serenity is coming towards them, suddenly the whole fucking Reaver fleet comes pouring out the nebula. Enormous ships, and the look of panic on the operative's face when he's like, target the Reavers, somebody fire, and it just starts this.
It's the first time he loses his cool.
It's
First time he loses his
it's
cool.
the only bit, isn't it? Like even
Yeah.
in the the final sort of confrontation with Mal, he's back to calm and professional again.
Yeah,
And it's
he
just
comes close
brilliant.
when he with the flashbang as well.
Yeah, the flash bomb.
Yeah.
It's just great because it also starts a really fucking badass. Even today, I watched it last night. It stands up. It really does stand up today. The space battle is fucking epic.
Yeah.
And then very sadly followed by
I'm a leaf on the wind.
I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I. Yeah, and I literally broke down last night. I was so sad. It hits me every time.
It's
It's
The way-
when it's followed up by Zoe going up to him as well, like after he's dead.
And she just shuts down after that. She just goes into full-on soldier mode.
Yeah,
She's tore up plenty, but she'll fly true.
yeah. I fucking love Firefly. It's a shame Joss Whedon's a bit of a cunt, isn't it?
It is.
It does sort of ruin things for everybody, doesn't it?
It is because I mean, look, he's not had a spotless back catalogue of writing though either, because obviously Alien Resurrection was a fucking nightmare
Yeah.
from start to finish. And there are plenty of other things on his list that were pretty bad, but there are some really nice bits, and I think Firefly and Serenity, the film, will always be little jewels in that crown, which, to be fair, is looking
Yeah.
very, very tarnished these days.
Firefly was mostly made by the cast as well, though, to be fair, which were just excellent. And open the door for numerous other sci-fi series, which I have on my list to mention both of them. So, yeah,
well,
yeah,
But yeah, that's my first fuck yeah moment.
it's great. It's excellent.
Hmm.
Who's next, Tom?
Random light, shine your light. Dan, you again. Back to you. Going back round. So.
Let's keep with the sci-fi theme. Battlestar Galactica.
Yes. Bumstar Galactica.
The whole of which season was it? 4, I think. Where the half the season, nothing really had happened. It was all about the politics of Battlestar Galactica, and then you get to the last episode, and you got the 5 people that start hearing the music. And I know a load of people don't like it. I fucking love it. Like, and it's just building up and building up and building up until these 5 people get in the same room. And spoilers, but you've had a fucking chance to watch it, so
It's like 20 years old now, isn't
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
fucking when they get together and they're standing there and they realize they're all fucking Cylons. It is one of those moments as well. And you're watching all the people that are going there and you know what's going to happen.
And they
then-
didn't know. They didn't know they were Cylons.
Have you not watched it?
No, I've never
No.
really gotten into Bumstar Galactica.
Doesn't sound like the sort of thing you'd be interested in.
No,
Not really. Doesn't really.
It is.
no.
I mean, it is good. It's the second best of that kind of ilk, but it is so It's just building up and building up and building up to this point, and Galactica itself is under fire, and it needs the people that are like realizing they are Cylons.
Yeah,
And
like
then
they
it's
have to
that
like go right then and
Yeah.
do their jobs and fight
Yeah.
to defend the ship.
knowing that they're fighting people that they are actually as well, and then
Ty
really
has
having
that
like
great
personality.
speech, doesn't he?
question. Yeah, Ty's
Such a
one of the best characters in it. He goes through some shit in that series. He is so good.
You kind of start off not liking him as well.
Yeah. He goes through so much. And there's that whole season, the whole start of the season where Adamus, like, they're fighting to save his life. And so Ty's in charge, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I've always had the guy. The man. So he calls him the man, doesn't he? Like, is that right? I can't
The
remember.
old man.
The old man, that's
Yeah.
the one, yeah. Ned with James Olmos is so I might watch Battlestar Galactica again. It is so good. Like it's second only to another series that I'm going to mention at some point.
And it's only what is it 4 or 5 seasons? It's not.
I think it's 5, and people hated the ending. I quite like the ending personally.
I like the ending. Skip the last 20 minutes, but apart from that, it's really good.
Yeah. Also, skipped all the Starbuck is an Angel stuff as well.
Yeah, that
Didn't like
I don't
that
think
very
that
much.
quite landed, but
No,
it was still pretty cool.
it was still kind of cool. Like, it was cool when she turned up and she was like, "Hi, I know where Earth is, and I'm going to show you." And then the next season, when they don't believe her because like they think she's a Cylon, they're like, "You're going the wrong way." That kind of thing. It's so good. And also, the president is great as well. Fucking watch Battlestar Galactica. Everyone watch Battlestar Galactica. It's great. It's got a dumb name, but fuck it.
I don't know, I think Battlestar Galactica is quite
Dumb.
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
It is a bit like it's not its fault that it's got a dumb name,
No, because it's based on something else.
but
yeah.
yeah, it is.
I love
it was
the idea of
first,
Cylons.
It was the first like sort of proper grown-up sci-fi for quite a while, wasn't it?
Oh, I think Firefly kind of pipped it, but yeah.
But then that's kind of like that's more sort of adventure
Westerns based,
serially.
yeah.
Well, Battlestar Galactica was what, the remake of the original.
Yeah, and the original one was like, hey, there's 10,000 of us, but we got women and we got a casino on one of these things, so we're probably going to be all right. And then the latest one was there's 50,000 of us, our numbers are dwindling, and we're running out of water. And it's that kind of thing. Like every week there was like a new challenge, basically. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Did a really good thing with it.
Challenge of the week.
I am going to mention a fuck yeah moment because this series had a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I was reminded of it on Twitter, and it's just when he goes, "But I am that guy."
I mean, yeah.
I fucking love that moment. It is. I mean, it works in the books, and it's just the build up to it, where the tension and everything goes out because he's got his daughter. And he goes, "You're not that guy." He sort of de-escalates it, takes the gun off him, goes, "Go," and the palpable relief, and then just the fact he turns around as it goes, boom, and then you get monster. The actual monster.
Amos really is the most psychotic golden retriever boyfriend to everyone, isn't he? That's what he is, right? He's like,
If he's your friend, he is your friend.
he's your friend,
has
and
got
he's going to
your-
protect you. Yeah,
But if you do anything, he's got very strict limits, and his laws are absolute. And if you break them, especially if you do anything to children, then you're just dead.
it's just people trying to get out of the churn.
Mm.
I like that there
I like
are
dark.
I like that there are, those kind of the recruitment posters.
Yeah.
The British Army needs you.
Hmm.
There are posters of Amos like in that same art style where it just says, "You're not that guy. I am that guy," and they look like those recruitment posters. Like it's almost propaganda. Yeah, that was such a good moment. I think the one thing that really struck me about The Expanse was that, obviously, Alien being my favorite film, and how tightly written the script is, and how well you get to know those characters in the space of like 90 minutes.
We know we did 3 episodes on it.
Yeah, obviously you have a lot more time with the characters in The Expanse, but what is so brilliant is that moments like that just showed me that despite everything you see them go through and all the experiences, there are still unplumbed depths to all those characters that are just waiting to be revealed, and and it never feels out of place. Not once did I ever sit back thinking, well, that doesn't seem like them. It all just felt like I knew this guy was capable of this level of,
you actually also see some really nice how the characters change, how the impact changed them. Like, especially with James Holden, but you see it with Amos, where he goes from really hard ass that he actually, in some ways, softens a bit, opens up a bit, and
It's given purpose.
yeah, he gives
like,
purpose, and he gets a
sort of-
family for the first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he starts to trust more people, doesn't he? Whereas before it was basically
Yeah.
just Naomi. But yeah, like I do like you say, like he softens, but in no way stops becoming a complete psycho as well.
Yeah.
The
It's like
second hardest
bit,
person.
the I am that guy moment. Like it doesn't have any effect on him. Like seconds later, he's absolutely fine. Just
Yeah.
he ain't coming. Off we go.
I was going to say the second hardest person, but it'll be the third hardest person because when Bobby's on screen, Dan is the second hardest person.
Love Bobby. She's great. She's amazing. I love the Bobby Amos combo towards the end of the series as well. That works so well. But
love it.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, you're right about the characters though, because Naomi stranded on that ship. Like the shit that she does to just survive is incredible. And she is, as far as I'm concerned, there are, in terms of like sci-fi heroes, there's Ripley, and then there's her just underneath at that point when she's on that ship, and it's less about saving herself. She's trying to save her friends from basically a certain death, and to do that, she's got to save herself on a ship that is sabotaged to the point where it can't function as a ship. So good. And the bit where she sends herself out into the just on her own, and you're like, please, someone grab her, someone grab her, someone grab her, someone grab her. And then Alex dies because the actor can't keep his cock in his pants. So
Yeah, they do let you down.
yeah, fucking unreal.
Another fuck yeah moment for me was in the very first episode,
Yeah,
Flip and Burn. I just thought that was badass.
It was
Yeah.
it was good. It was well represented, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really well
And it sort of
represented.
actually is like, all right, so we're doing the actual rules of how things move. Because also, like, bless them, they didn't have a big budget, so there's a
No.
lot of that first season where they're meant to be in zero gravity,
Hmm.
but they're just walking around the ship, and they've put the noise for the mag boots on, so every time they step, it does that cha-chunk, cha-chunk, cha-chunk thing. But like, they're just like the way their bodies are moving, the way everything else moves. It's clearly not zero gravity, and it's not
No.
very convincing at all. But
No,
it's
but
a
it
very
is
difficult
pretty
thing
cool.
to do effectively.
But they do work on it. I mean,
it gets
the fact that-
better. It gets a lot better.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
very good. Some good moments in that. Some epic space battles as well.
what else we got?
Russ.
Uh, so I would go. So I get one of the sort of ones that's like stayed with me most is the ending of The Thing,
Oh,
which is like, that's one of the sort of the classic. It's up there with The Italian Job for like classic cliffhanger type things.
Back at the Italian Job, I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, that. But then so it's because like it could be neither of them,
Hmm.
but it could also be either one of them.
Yeah.
Because all it would take is the camera to cut away from someone for 1 second, and then it could be The Thing instead of them.
Yeah.
So, it's not even as simple as it's definitely one of them. It might have scuttled off as a dog or something again.
Yep.
So you just don't know. And there's never been a definitive, like, no matter sort of how much people overanalyze frame by frame and try and answer these things, there is no answer to it.
what have the actors said?
I don't know.
Kurt Russell says he knows, but he's not telling anyone.
Yeah, which is exactly what I'd say if I was in his position. But also, like, they don't know. They only know what they've been told.
Yeah.
But, like, if they were The Thing, you would tell them you're not, so that they're not acting like they might be The Thing.
So I think it's Christopher Nolan said he had a chat with John Carpenter about it. And John Carpenter told him, but kind of swore him to secrecy. Something along those lines.
Nice.
But he said, the one thing I'll say is, if you watch the film closely, you can work it out.
Again, that's also what I'd say to people to fuck with them if
Yeah, true.
if you felt like it.
I personally don't think either one of them is infected. I think that the whole point of it is the film's notion of paranoia of not being able to trust people you've known your whole life because
Yeah.
of this thing. And I just think they are both so tired and exhausted from everything they've gone through. I think that the thing has scuttled off somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think both of them are absolutely fine, uninfected, but just stranded and too paranoid to move, really.
Yeah. Also, like, probably going to die anyway.
Probably going to die anyway.
Because what are your options at that point?
You guys seen The Mist?
Yes. The Frank
The
Darabont one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That
I've
has the
never
most
seen this.
that has the most depressing ending I've ever watched. Well,
Yeah,
one of the
it
most
just feels
depressing.
like unnecessarily bleak, the ending.
Is
there.
I've heard about this one. Is
Yeah.
this the one where the dad or something kills
They
his
drive
wife?
they drive as far as they can. And it's not I don't think they're all related. I think he's just him, 2 kids and a lady. And he has sorry, there's 4 of them in the car. And they drive into the mist as far as they can, realizing that being in the mist and dying from the creatures in the mist is way worse than like another way out. So there's 4 bullets left. So he spoilers, by the way, but this film's fucking old again. So he kills the 2 kids and the old lady and the mum. I think he's out of bullets. He gets out of the car, and it turns out the military have solved the problem at this point. And so you see
Yeah.
a tank rolling through.
Yeah.
Because like,
That's
they
what's
can-
Toy Story after that.
They can hear noises coming and they think
Yeah.
it's the creatures, but it turns
Yeah.
out it's the army and everything's fine. It's really, really grim.
Yeah, it's Thomas Jane as well.
It's
Doors and corners,
brutal.
kids. That's how they get you.
That's brutal.
Go into a room too fast, the room eats you.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it's good though. It's a good film, but yeah, I've watched it once and that's enough.
Yeah. There's a few films I've watched once and never want to watch again.
Yeah.
But there are many video games that I've played over and over and over again. And one that I think had a superb cliffhanger ending is and it's an old one. I don't mind spoiling this one because if you haven't played this game by this point, I don't know what you've been up to. It just in my opinion is Half-Life 2.
Oh,
I've never heard
I
of it.
actually thought you were going to say
Never
something
heard of it.
else.
No, is Half-Life 2. Because obviously the first game was rip-roaring success, you know, a late 90s game. Obviously its sequel comes out in 2004, 2005, I think.
Yeah.
2004. No, 2005. 2004. No, it's 2004. And it starts with Gordon being awoken from stasis and then going through the wicked adventure that is Half-Life 2. And then just at the end, when you think you've won, the reactor of the Citadel in City 17 goes critical with you and Alex at the top, 2 of you and the main character. And just as it's blowing up, and you're thinking to yourself, what the fuck? How the fuck are we going to escape this? It all freezes. And suddenly the G-Man appears. For people who know Half-Life and that universe, you'll understand. If you've never played it, you won't get it. But he walks forward and he just says, "Time, Dr. Freeman. Is it really that time again?" And you realize that's it. This is the end of the road. Like, Gordon, the character, is done and he's going back into stasis. And it literally ends with you being put back into stasis, the G-Man walking through his portal of light, the door shutting, slam, and then the credit music rolling. And it just ends this bombastic, incredible video game on a cliffhanger that wouldn't be answered, I think, for another 3 or
It was
4
a good
years.
few years, wasn't it, before episode 1 came out?
Before episode 1 came out. And to be fair, episode 2, you know, of the DLC ended on a fantastic cliffhanger as well, with Alex cradling her father's body in her hands and you guys just about to set off for an adventure that would never be told until obviously Half-Life Alex kind of retconned the whole timeline. But I still say that Half-Life 2's ending and the cliffhanger for that was just, for me, as a big fan, mind-blowing.
I honestly, this is going to sound weird. I thought you were going to say Monkey Island 2 because that actually ends with a really good cliffhanger.
A great cliffhanger.
Because he
Superb
turns
cliffhanger.
round and you're like, oh.
It's just another vision. Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of LeChuck's hallucinations again. But it turns out in the latest sequel that it is another that it is another, but I can't remember. It's a really weird explanation. I prefer the idea that Guybrush is stuck forever inside a hallucination.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, there are some so good moments in Monkey Island 2.
Yeah, great games.
Where he's digging up the corpse of Largo Legrand's grandfather to make the voodoo doll, and he holds up the leg, and there's this big flash of lightning, and as the flash of lightning happens, Guybrush's trousers fall down, revealing his white ones while he's holding the thing up. It's just, and even in little pixel art, his little wife just so happy holding the leg up.
Yeah, it's so good. There's a bit where you have to put a dog in your pocket, and they did this really elaborate animation that lasts like 20 seconds of him trying to shove the dog inside his coat.
Yeah.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Yeah, there's that whole conversation, isn't it? Which is just that back and forth.
Yeah.
That's very good. I really liked the sword fighting gimmick for the first game when you thought, oh, you're gonna have to do sword fighting, but it's all insults. It's just about throwing insults at each other, and whoever can insult the other the best wins the sword fight. That was always good.
It's the spitting contest in the second one, isn't it? Where you got to mix up the right concoction of potions.
Yes,
to get the best.
It took me so long to realise that you do actually have to time it right as well. You got to wait till you see the wind.
Yes,
blowing,
the windsock.
The little sort of stringy thing, because you're just not trained. Like, that game doesn't train you to look for that kind of like timed environmental thing, because it's all about what you say and what you know, the items that you use. Like, there's not really normally much in the way of like time pressure to do anything. You can just sort of bimble around and work it out.
I also like the most on the nose joke of the whole thing, which is that in the second game, the name of the treasure is Big Whoop. It's just the mysterious treasure of Big Whoop. So, and it starts with Guybrush dangling in a hole, doesn't it? He's just swinging backwards and forwards, like holding onto a chest of what he thinks is treasure, just dangling backwards and forwards, and that's how that game starts.
Yep.
Which I think is quite a nice one. Yeah. No, anyway, yeah. Half-Life 2, Monkey Island, shit. Yeah.
Two very different.
Yeah, quite opposite ends of the spectrum there. Full on, like, you know, physics. Well, I say real physics. Half-Life 2 was one of those games where if you shot and killed an enemy, you remember how they used to ragdoll? They used to they would just, their bodies and momentum would just, you know, the inertia that the body had would continue, and it would just, you know, if you shot it, it would still be running and just sort of slide across the ground towards you. But of course, you know, bodies don't do that. If they're running towards you and you shoot them, they just bam down. But yeah, it was a very odd sort of period where physics was a little bit bouncy, and it was always quite funny to throw grenades and to see bodies fucking flying.
Also, you had come across rather more ramps that look like they could get you to where they need you need to go, except it's pointing the wrong way. Except, oh, there's a stack of crates and barrels over here, and if I put some of those on there, it's going to turn into a seesaw. Like, that happened a good 7 or 8 times throughout Half-Life 2.
They were very, very pleased with that. I think you had to do it 2 or 3 times when you were on the airboat. You definitely had to do it 4 or 5 times when you were driving. And in fact, one of the biggest set pieces of episode 2 is having to weigh down an entire actual bridge on one end so that you can drive the Dodge Charger over the, like, you know, do a massive, great big jump. Yeah, they were very pleased with their physics work back in those days. Yes. Anyway, who's next? Random light, shine your light. I'm not doing it. Dan.
Not so much a fuck yeah moment, but oh no moment. Can't swim.
Yeah. It's
Elaborate,
so
my
good.
darling.
That should be enough, Tom.
Let me remind myself what
Andor.
Yeah.
Prison Break.
Oh, can't swim in Andor.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's such a good episode.
It's a great series in general. I love Andor so much. I'm less concerned about like magic swords and family and shit like that in Star Wars than I am with the politics side of things, and that kind of taps into that perfectly. So, but that particular moment is fucking heartbreaking. So yeah,
because it's not a surprise to him. He
Yeah.
knew where they were. He knew
Yeah.
they were going up. He knew there
Yeah.
was only the whole episode is called One Way Out.
yeah, and he knew that
He knew that was
never
going to happen.
He knew there was no out. Boom.
And it's so like the way it's just you don't get any time to dwell on anything. It's just like a sudden like he looks back, doesn't really hear him properly. There's a rush of people and he's gone, and you never see him again.
Great, fucking love Andor.
I hadn't remembered that. That's really hit me. That was harsh.
Yeah,
And also, you know, there's that coupled excellent reveal of the things that they were making in the prison at the end being part of the
the fucking Death Star,
laser.
which is what kills him.
Yeah, of the focusing beam, isn't it? Where it's the what are they? They're like mountings for focusing crystals,
Yeah.
aren't
Yeah,
they?
something like that.
And they're just being slotted into place, and you just think, "Fuck,
Yeah,
this has just set up Rogue One."
yeah.
Brilliant,
I love
brilliant.
Rogue One.
It might be one of my favourite Star Wars. In fact,
I mean, it's very much more Rogue One, but yeah, like that and Rogue One are some of my favourite Star Wars, and I know that's what all grumpy middle-aged men say because they don't like it being too shiny and for children anymore.
Yeah, fuck them. They don't enjoy it like I do.
But yeah, you weren't there. You didn't know how good it
I don't
was.
care if you've saved up all your 50p's. No, it's-
Forgot about that bit in space. That's brilliant.
I'll take your 50p's.
That's all it is to you, this jumped up display of a fireworks show.
So good. I love space so much.
Jar Jar Binks made the Ewoks look like fucking
Fucking
Shaft.
Shaft.
I think
can I see
we
your
all
long
are
fist?
mature enough to concede now that the Ewoks are rubbish.
They look horrible. They've like Return of the Jedi, right? It's got some great bits in it, but like, it's kind of a coincidence, isn't it, that they're saved by the fact that there just happens to have been another protocol droid that looked exactly like C-3PO on that planet at some point that they all worshipped.
Yeah,
It was
but I
very
mean,
handy.
like, yeah, and that is the only time a wild coincidence has any bearing on the plot of Star Wars.
Okay, fair
Or
enough.
indeed,
Fair point.
or indeed any film.
Yeah,
But that one's
It is
very
very-
specific.
And like you got the sort of like the epitome of Imperial armored technology. Yeah, you didn't say that somebody might hit it with a twig. It will blow up if somebody hits it with a twig. But
It's
like,
not
what
a
are the
twig,
chances
they're
of that?
massive logs.
Yeah.
They're big old logs. Although to be fair, they do crumple like wet tissue.
Yeah.
I mean, it was two coming in like that.
It was.
Hang on. It's
and one
Star
of
Wars bullshit.
them- Don't you ever fucking say that.
Sorry.
Go downstairs, have a beer, and watch Return of the Jedi again, and you'll see this brilliant.
I am mostly kidding. I do like Return of the Jedi.
It's yeah, it has got some great bits in it. I think the whole throne, every bit in the throne room is brilliant.
It's got the
Apart
best
from the fact that
opening.
the Red Guards never do anything.
It's got potentially the best opening as well. Like the whole first quarter up to this on the sail barge, where the plan kind of comes on. That's tense as fuck. That is so good.
And it's
Like-
it's a very intimate adventure as well. It's like
Yeah.
it's blatantly something that they've been given the authority to go off and
Yeah, because
do.
there's no like galaxy-spanning consequences to this. They're just trying to get their mate back.
Yeah.
They're trying to get a general for the
Well, yeah,
rebellion.
but like you know, that you can tell they don't really give a shit about.
I
that.
mean,
They
he's
just want the
general
throne.
because they said, "Hey, can he be a general too?" But like, yeah.
I mean,
Lando, how did you become general? I rescued another general. How did he become a general? Well,
It's not what you know; it's who you know in this
yeah,
business, isn't it?
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
You know Princess Leia,
Well-
her
well-
and him.
yeah.
Yeah.
the
You
thing
know the
is,
secret about her
what-
brother.
it's essentially Leia. He went, look, Leia, she's electric. Can I be electric too? And that's kind of what it is.
Is there a gas leak there? That's another Oasis song as well, by the way. But yeah,
I thought that was not bad. It wasn't the smartest
I
joke.
suppose
of
the importance of being idle. I suppose.
You're really
Champagne.
taking the shine off things, guys.
Yeah. Look, we're sliding away here, so let's.
Right.
Shall we? Yeah.
I mean, there is the.
Come on, Duncan.
It's all
Don't look back in
intended-
anger, all right?
Yeah. But with the Rancor,
Yeah.
like when he gets dropped into the pit, like, fuck, how's he getting out of that? That's the first time you watch that. That's all pretty tense.
That reminded me of the IT guy from The Office. I hate to have to add the suffix UK to this one. You know that bit where it's like, oh, he's definitely dead now. I pulled over, took my helmet off, said, what were you worried about? You know, like, killed the Rancor, slammed the door on it, got out, said, what were you worried about?
That's Matt Holness, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
He goes to the laser
know that
tag.
Bruce
the guy's
Lee's
like,
not
"Oi,
actually dead."
no professionals.
Said, I'm not a professional. Said, well, you should
Alright.
be. And if you did it full time, you'd make a fortune. I said, I don't give a shit. I'm making shitloads of computers.
Fucking love The Office.
It's not your computer, is it? It's Wernham Hogs.
As
I have
Gareth is
IT
always
guys
there,
like that
hanging
in
on to his every
Autotrader.
word.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Might need to cut that bit out.
We can't. We're live, Tom.
Okay. Well, hopefully that's. Yeah, never mind.
No one watch it from
No.
anywhere. Watches it.
Sincerely hope not.
No. He works for the LA Raiders, is what I heard.
How many viewers have we got watching at the moment?
2.
Right. Sincerely,
One of them might be
them's not my
on
colleague.
the stream. I've got one more, and I think this is one of the top cliffhangers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dwarf, end of season 5? The time slip where
time slip one.
yeah,
Yeah,
Because-
again,
Six.
bit of a disappointing
6.
wrap
Follow
up,
up.
with that, but yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
That because that was the last. Yeah, sorry, it was season 6. I wasn't sure, but yeah, it's just because we then don't get any Red Dwarf, and the next Red Dwarf we get, it's a bit disappointing. But that you just don't know. Like you don't know if it's just the build up at the end. It's so tense. It stops. The comedy's gone. You're like, what the hell has happened here? Everyone's dead, and does he get to the machine in time? And yeah,
The music is great in that scene as well. One of my favourite bits of Red Dwarf soundtrack. It's so cool. And it's actually like a rare, very rare heroic moment of
Rimmer.
Rimmers. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, I struggle
Better,
with the
better dead
cliffhanger
than
moments.
Smeg is the line.
Yeah.
Follows it up with though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's watched Ted Lasso here?
No.
Watch bits.
Okay.
Have
The
watched it last
darts game.
CSI, I've
Yeah.
seen
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
that
seen
pops
that on
up like on Instagram and stuff, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
So
Yeah.
good, though. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I
Um,
forgot I had these on me. Ah, well, I forgot. I play with my left hand.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights. My eyes were open. My eyes were wide open as well. The bit where he has to come, where Saracen has to come in for Street, and he throws that pass, and the whole next episode is everyone says he has your eyes closed, and you just chucked it down and got lucky. And when he looks at them and just says, "My eyes were open. My eyes were wide open." Gets me every time. I love it.
It's good.
Yeah.
And we've got 3 people watching now.
Oh, Top Gun I'm just gonna rattle a load off. Top Gun Maverick when he does the course.
I mean that whole sequence, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Also, the whole bit where he schools the trainees.
Yes.
That is badass as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, pulling off movers that would have immediately had him grounded, fired, and probably put in prison.
But they need to get to that nuclear enrichment site, Russ. He's the only person. He's the only person that can do it. So,
He
so,
won't,
you know,
he won't be fooled again.
no, he won't. Oh.
I mean, that film is full of good get you moments. It's like when he's out there and he goes, "Talk to me, Goose." And you're like,
Anytime he says it, and he says it about 6 fucking times, I'm blubbing. So yeah,
It was a good film. I enjoyed going to see that with you guys in the IMAX.
it was.
is this a wonderful segue here, there, Tom?
No, well, what were we looking at? Well, we have been on for almost an hour now, haven't we? It's getting on. Maybe are there any others that people want to rattle off just before we just have a little wank on about Romulus?
No, I mean, aside from all the obvious ones, I did have a moment from Battlestar Galactica as well, and it's one of my favourites in the whole thing. It's the bit where Boomer shoots Adama, which is so good because, like, you know she's a Cylon, but you've come to trust her. You believe that she's in charge of it all. She just comes back with a really triumphant mission, and it's like he goes to shake her hand, doesn't he? And then she lifts her hand up, and she's got a gun in her hand, and she shoots him right in the heart.
Yeah.
And then, like, there's an amazing shot of him falling down, and it's like he doesn't crumple. He looks like he looks like a ship sinking. He's just sort of slowly moving down the frame without like falling or crumpling down. It's so good.
Yeah, and she's got
just
this whole
explodes into
like,
chaos.
what have I done? What did I just do? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because so good. That
And
is
then
great.
from that, like, obviously none of them really trust her at all after that point.
No. Except for the chief, for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And Tears in the Rain, obviously, in Blade Runner.
Yes.
Is he a replicant?
Is he a replicant? I think he is.
I think he is as well.
Yeah.
The only person that doesn't think he is Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but
it
if
makes
you ask
it a more
him
satisfying
today,
story if he is,
Yeah.
but you know, could go either way.
it also
also-
makes that last speech of his, like, I don't know how long, of the last speech of Gaff, you know, it won't last forever, but then, well, she won't live forever, but then again, who does?
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like he's kind of acknowledging, like, well, you're not going to live very long either.
Yeah.
So you'll probably have about as much time as each other left in this. Although it depends. I mean, you never know really. Deckard could be a replicant purely made to hunt other replicants. You know, a prototype of some sort as well. I mean, there's so many hints. There's director's glowing eyes in the director's cuts, and
Well, that and the fact that the main
Photos.
character in the next film has a connection to him, and he is a replicant that hunts other replicants. So yeah.
yeah.
There's 6 people watching apparently. How the fuck's that happened? You're missing out. You've missed.
be-
Got
I
some
think
gold.
I
The
think I
FBI
said
on top.
something, and now this is all people who have been like, yeah, you need to get onto this thing. You didn't know that. Oh.
Oh, hey.
No, so Crazed Pure, I know, is an old friend of mine called Jack.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, Jack.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate the thumbs up there.
Thank you.
How are you, son? Sorry, private joke.
We love
They
them.
always work.
Yeah. Nice. Duncan, have at it. This is your time to shine, buddy.
I mean, at least when I share a private joke here, it's with 2 other people who on the stream who gets it.
Yeah. We are the only people that get it, though. That's the
Doesn't matter. It's all
Come
that
on,
matters.
everyone on the stream, drop a thumbs up just in
No,
the chat.
a wave. It's a hand
Or a
in.
wave.
No, give us a like and subscribe to us. That's what we're meant to say, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
give us a
yeah.
like and subscribe so that you
If
can
you
watch
like
more
it, subscribe to
of
it
this stuff.
Yeah.
when we remember to get around to doing it.
Alien Romulus, Tom. We went to see it.
We did.
Yeah. What's the verdict? I've heard
Tom?
various.
I think I agree. Hang on, quickly comment. Long time no speak, Dad. Hope you're well. Hope you're all well. Yes, son, I'm well. Daddy's missed
We're
you.
very well, Jack. Thank you.
I think I agree with your appraisal of Romulus, Dan. I think you're right. From my point of view, it's the 3rd best Alien film, or at least it's the 3rd best film that contained the xenomorph as a primary villain, because I'm counting the AVP films in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that would alter its position, if I'm honest with you.
No,
Yeah.
of course not. No.
It's really fucking. I love it. I think it's incredible.
I think it's good. The more I reflect on it, the more I don't think that the enemy at the end is maybe necessary.
I agree.
didn't quite know where that was going, because I thought up to that point the film had done a really good job of keeping everything going with suspense.
Yeah.
I have to say, sound design phenomenal,
It's unreal, isn't it? It
visually
sounds incredible. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
The effects, again, phenomenal, fantastic. And I have to say that the actor who plays
Andy
Andy
steals the show.
absolutely steals
Yeah.
the show, playing two different characters in such switch and sway like he does
Yeah.
for the whole film. Phenomenal, absolutely amazing. Phenomenal is probably the word I would use to describe most of the things I like about it.
Yeah.
Utterly unnecessary is probably all the bits that I don't need. For instance, the return of one of, I think a lot of people know about it anyway. I don't really want to spoil it, but the return of the likeness of a character from one of the previous films, I think, was utterly
Is this
unnecessary.
the
So have you
thing where
soured
they-
on that then?
I
I still
think-
quite like it.
I mean, I like it. I like the, because obviously it proves. I don't know how to say it without being a spoiler.
Yeah.
I know it, but isn't
Yeah,
it
yeah.
this
No,
they
no, 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 no.
CGI?
Yes, but don't,
Yeah.
because other people haven't watched it.
I
haven't
get it
watched it.
because
It's on Instagram.
I get
I know,
it
but
because,
other people haven't watched it. Doesn't mean you have to spoil it for everyone else, Duncan.
Dan, I get it because he's not the only one of his kind that exists.
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. Like, I get it. Like, and I guess that kind of proves a point and sort of fits with the universe. But
Yeah.
I just felt it was, the more I think about it, the more it feels a bit on the nose.
It's heavily CGI, Duncan. You're absolutely right. And I think what you could have done is have it more in the have the same character but more in the shadows. Like, didn't have to see. You didn't have to go full Jeff Bridges in Tron with it. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have to say, I thought the creature design was good. I
think-
the face huggers were genuinely terrifying.
I was about to say I think that's the scariest they've been
Yeah,
in this. There's a bit when like one of them just jumps past someone because you don't see it coming. It's so good.
yeah,
Like a spider jumping out of nowhere.
yeah,
But this is the closest they've been to spiders, I think, as well.
yeah.
Have you seen the people like driving the remote control ones around?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very well animated and and articulated, very well done.
Apparently, in New York, as part of a promo, they had people just lying on the ground with a face hugger on,
Yeah, they did, yeah.
which does
Because
sound
it's New
terrifying.
York, everyone just walked past not giving a shit.
Yeah, pretty well. But yeah, at this Comic-Con we went to at the weekend, there was a Alien stand. So obviously I thought it'd be top. But they also had a face hugger on remote control car, and it was very effective. I've been just going, no, I don't like that. And just no, I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't particularly the best one, but it is. You see anything move like that, and you're just like, "Nyeh."
But I would recommend that if you are a passing fan or indeed a big fan of the Alien franchise, you're going to go and see it, and hopefully you walk away feeling like I did, which was absolutely, it's the third best Alien film. It's finally a decent film that feels like the franchise might be heading in a better direction. I don't think it's a clear indication that it is, but I think it definitely feels like the franchise is trying to kick off from somewhere. There's just little plot bits that keep coming back to me, and I'll just keep asking myself questions like, how could they not know X? You know, how could they not predict Y? But like you say, suspend disbelief.
I also like that it comes from a very different, like, it feels like a different part of the universe. Like a different, these characters feel different from characters we've seen before as well.
And it does give you a really good. It really gives you a really good look at one of these supposedly better worlds that Weyland Yutani is building, and does show you that it's not happy days.
No.
You know, all the executives in their suits in their offices on Gateway Station that we see in Aliens, you know, they're the ones living the high life.
Yeah.
You know, it's the people down on these planets being terraformed. They're not having a good time at all. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed going to see it with you as well, Dan. By the way,
Yeah,
I enjoyed
me
that.
too.
That was nice. It was a nice little night. We had dinner afterwards.
We
Spoke
did.
about
Oh,
Warhammer,
very
analysed
lovely.
the film. It's good times.
Do we want to talk about Nova quickly? It won't take long.
There wasn't that much, really, was there? I get it because
No.
like, it's an independent thing, isn't it? So they want to keep their good stuff for their own events.
Still
but
kind of rubbish though. So like
the
they
Chaos
they
Dwarves
announced-
Blood Bowl team, that is really
Yeah.
good.
There's the whatever ziggurat something.
I
Yeah.
can't remember the code.
It's yeah for 40k, literally just a couple of things. So just like Imperial Guard and Eldar, but then
And Imperial Knights.
and Imperial Knights, which they didn't even mention in the thing. That was only on the website. They didn't actually mention on the night.
All right.
Have they actually said what they're doing, or just there's going to be some?
So they said what they're doing with the Guard, which is we're getting Krieg.
Krieg!
And then they said with Eldar they're doing plastic aspect warriors.
About flipping time.
It's about those models are about 30 years old, so that makes sense. They haven't said anything about Imperial Knights. I get the feeling that's not going to get much.
I think they've just said there's going to be something for Imperial Knights.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do really? You've got about 4 or 5 different types of knight already, and
Yeah.
you can just come up with a different type of knight basically. So, but yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
that's Nova in a nutshell, pretty much. Guard's exciting.
Yeah.
I've got enough Cadians to sink a boat, so I sink a boat in off the coast of wherever that boat sank. Fuck, I don't know anything about that, but it's still weird.
Oh, what, the Bayesian
Yeah.
of Sicily? It was
Actually, while you're on here, Duncan, you know about this shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Weird, right?
It
It was hit by like a
was.
typhoon or something.
They
wasn't it?
think it was known as a downburst,
Yeah.
but essentially, the skipper probably cocked up.
Oh, really? Is
And
that
the
what
thought is that one of the there might have been a hatch opened.
Yeah.
I haven't really read much more about it. Apart from no one else was out at sea. So they probably shouldn't have been at anchor. They should have probably been in the harbour. I don't think they were that far off shore.
No.
And the owner of the company that made the boat said,
Yeah.
this really shouldn't have sunk.
No.
But it did. So the thought is the hatch was open and it just got caught in off-peak weather. Because there's like CCTV and
Yeah.
weather footage saying there was big storms.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's, I don't know. I don't know what the interview from the skipper would have been, but that some of the articles are making out that 2 hour the skipper, the captain, was interviewed for 2 hours. It's like, yeah, they need to be interviewed for longer because
Well,
they've got
even if there
they are
wasn't a hint
responsible.
of suspicion of any wrongdoing,
Yeah.
you imagine that the captain of a vessel that sinks is in for a quite serious amount of paperwork.
it's you are legally responsible.
Yeah.
I've been doing my professional responsibilities course, and
Yeah.
so like that happens just after doing that. Going, yeah, what they're going to do is they go through everything, like your operating procedures, like it's everyone. Did you check that everyone is certified? Why? What are has everyone been educated? Did you do everything you could to prevent
Yeah.
this? And there is going to be a lot of conspiracy because the other person associated with fits his name, Mike.
Died in a car crash.
Autonomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
but
But the thing is,
that
it's one of those
car
things where it's
crash is
like,
also
can it
not
be a
suspicious.
coincidence? Can it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because it was an old lady or something that killed this guy in a car crash. I don't think it was even a proper hit and run. I think it was
But
just an
it's,
accident.
there's quite a lot of conspiracy theory nonsense going around this one.
Yeah.
Really.
I
Okay,
think
you're
it's
right.
a tragic.
It
It's a
is all
tragic
bollocks,
accident.
but I love a conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, but as long
Yeah.
as you know that you're just doing it for fun, that's fine.
Yeah.
When it starts actually affecting your life and other people's lives,
Yeah.
that's when it's not fun.
Because the thing is not, I hate to say not everyone died, but yeah, it was very specific of he died, but
Yeah.
some of the other people that died, I don't think are really you would say
You
were
wouldn't leave witnesses.
yeah, and like you wouldn't also have, say, the lawyer. The
Yeah.
lawyer survived. I think. You could argue that the hit was probably on the Morgan Stanley
Yeah.
person, but yeah, sorry, I've whistled on. It was a tragic accident. Someone cocked up.
Yeah.
And sadly, cock-ups at sea usually can easily end in death.
Yeah, especially if
Yeah, it's not the place to have a
someone won't
casual
let you
cock-up,
up.
is it?
If someone won't let you up onto the door, that you're lying on, floating in the water. She could have just
Yeah,
bunched
that's
up a
very
bit.
We would like a bit of space though, Tom.
Yeah, a bit of room to stretch out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really spread
What if
the
she
weight
got
on
cramp?
that.
She'd have really regretted letting him up.
Yeah, I'm really cold and I've got cramp. So you just stay in the water.
Yeah. Probably for the best, isn't it?
Oh no, don't let go, Jack. Don't let go.
Oh
I mean,
no.
bear in mind that we're only hearing her recollection of events. So this is the
I tried to-
story that she's presenting.
Yeah,
he
I
very
tried to-
nobly decided to stay in the water. There was absolutely no violence involved whatsoever. I at no point hit him with anything.
Yeah. And at no point did I steal the pork scratchings out of his bag and eat those while he was in the water. And, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. He very nobly, accidentally, brutally died in the water.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think we're done it. Let's wrap this up tighter than
Yeah.
a mummy. So there we go. There were some cliffhangers and fuck yeah moments that we really like. If you want to share some of your fuck yeah and cliffhanger moments from video games, films, TV programs, let us know on our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter feeds. Just go at TMTOH. You'll find us on there. If you go to Instagram as well, you can go to our bio. You'll find a link to our Discord server, so you can go and do the same there. Tell us all about it. Share news, views, opinions, etc. with all the people that are chatting away there. Dan, have we got anything coming up? I always just flash to you. in these moments.
Nothing at the moment, no.
Fair dues. That's all good. It leaves me with no further ado. So thank you very much for listening to us all. Thank you very much for watching us if you're watching on the stream. Russ, goodbye.
Let's peeps.
Duncan, goodbye.
Taters.
Dan, goodbye.
And handies.
Bye, handies.
Bye, handies. Have a great time. And on that note, that very good note, just remember that in space, no one can hear you scream. And let's cue the music.